Matthew here from MiniWarGaming.com, and this is another Beat Matt Batrep.
We work so you can play. MiniWarGaming's Beat Matt Batrep.
Today I've got Mike. Say hi, Mike.
Hello.
And he's come to challenge me to a game of X-Wing. And he's actually been kind enough to lend us his collection of X-Wing miniatures until we get all the rest of ours in, which is awesome because it allows us to play bigger games. So we are going to do a 100-point game just like he requested. So let's take a look at the board and everything we got. So here is the board we will be playing on. We've set kind of an imaginary line right about here. You won't die if you cross it. We're just saying, you know, once you go around here, make sure you go back. And then everywhere else will be the hard borders. Even at 100 points, you can normally play on a 3x3 board, but this is the board that we had, so we're going to do a 4x4. So, on the Imperial side, which is the side that I am, we've got 3 TIE fighters and 2 TIE interceptors. I'm really excited to try them out because, well, they're pretty cool. So I brought 2 very basic Academy pilots, and the reason for that is because why pay for higher skill levels when you know you're probably going to be facing higher skill levels on the other side, most likely. And then we got the Howl Runner. He is a TIE fighter that gives other friendly ships at range 1 a reroll of one of their attack dice. And we got 2 TIE interceptors. We've got the name character Tur Fenrir, and he basically gets to do a free boost or barrel roll action after he performs an attack. And he's been given a stealth device, which gives him +1 agility until he is hit for the first time. And we got Sunter Fell, which has his ability is that when you receive a stress token, you can assign 1 focus token to your ship, which is nice. And he has the upgrade, which allows him to assign a stress token to himself, which then lets him perform 1 free action. And that's after he's performed an action. So he can do an action, do a free action, and then apply a focus token to himself. And it's not a focus action, so I could do a focus action and have another focus token on top of that. So it works out nicely because it allows him to attack and defend with that, or defend multiple times. Then, on the Rebel side, we've got 4 ships, 2 X-Wings, a Y-Wing, and an A-Wing. And we've got Wedge Antilles in the X-Wing, and when he attacks, you reduce the defender's agility value by 1. So that's a pretty big deal. To a minimum of 0, of course, because you can't have negative agility. What happened if you had negative agility? Do you have to roll another
Go
red
down
die?
to 0. It's in the FAQ, down to 0.
Yeah, unless negative would give you an extra attack dice. There you go.
Probably, yeah.
And then we got Garvin Dreas, or Dreas. I don't actually recognize these names, so if you're one of those Star Wars geeks, which I would commend you for, I'm not making fun of you, then in the comments below, tell us where you recognize these names from. They're probably from some book, or some movie, or something else like that. So after he spends a focus token, he can actually put that focus token on another friendly ship at range 1 to 2 instead of discarding it. So it's like 2 focus tokens. And the only disadvantage of that is he's a lower skill level than this guy, so most likely he'll be handing it off to somebody else. Unless he gets attacked and uses it that way. Then we've got Dutch Vander, as opposed to Darth Vader. I don't know. Dutch Vander. So he basically, when he does a target lock, another ship automatically gets you a target lock as well. And that's not to the same ship either. And he's been given the ion cannon turret upgrade, which you'll see in the game. Basically disables ships kind of with their moving. And we've got an A-Wing with a prototype pilot in it, so it's just only level 1. And he's got nothing special besides the fact that he has all the A-Wing abilities. So A-Wings are fast and agile like the TIE Interceptor. The Y-Wing is a tank. It's got 5 hull points and 3 shields. And the X-Wings are more your all-around, well-rounded ship. We've already set up the terrain. We've decided to use 12 asteroids, so we're in a thick asteroid belt. So that'll make it very difficult for maneuvering, but rather fun at the same time. And so we're just going to play to the death, 100 points of X-Wing. And we have deployed. Going back and forth according to the pilot skill level. Got my guys packed nicely together, except with 1 TIE fighter over here. He's got his guys spread out, looking for attack lanes where they don't have to maneuver as much if needs be. And we're ready to get started. So, going into turn 1. So starting with the lowest pilot value, we actually have a tie here, but since it's a tie, the player with the initiative goes first. And that would be the Imperial player, because we're at the same level of points. So we got the Academy pilot and the Academy pilot who will go. And both of them are going to move forward 5. So number 1. Now really we should do these separately, because then they have to declare their action separately, but I'm not too worried about that. And number 2. And as an action, both of them are going to evade. Revealing for the A-Wing, moving 3 forward as a green.
Slow and steady.
And what action are you going to take?
Gonna focus.
Number 6s.
So, slow forward.
Obviously don't have to worry about overlapping when they started.
Focus on him.
Focus on Gavin.
And let's see if I can do a target lock to the closest TIE fighter here.
So measure that.
No, not quite.
So that means you're just going to do a focus then.
Yeah.
Okay, so 7 and 8. I'm doing my 5 forward and 5 forward. So moving the interceptor. And he's actually going to perform a focus. And then the Howl Runner is going to move forward 5 as well. And just in case, he will evade. And Sunterfell will go 5 forward. I bet you couldn't have guessed that one. And he will... So Sunterfell is going to do a boost action, which is a new action, not in the original rulebook, where he can do basically a 1 maneuver, going forward or a banking left or right. But he has a special rule that once per round, after I perform an action, I can do a free action, but get a stress token. So the free action I will take will be an evade, but he also has his own special rule that says when he gets a stress token, he gets a focus token on him. So he'll have a stress token, an evade token, and a focus token. And then the other X-Wing is going to move forward 3. And he is going to focus. So combat phase, I guess you can check your targets first. No, he's not in range. Oh, he's in range.
Oops. Nope, so just there.
So he's in range, but it'll be going through an obstruction, correct? Because you measure closest to closest. Yeah, that's definitely going through, because when you turn it on the side. Actually, is he in your front arc? Why don't you put that thing back there on its side?
Not quite?
No, the front part is within 3, but the front arc would be to here, so that's actually not quite in.
Wedge is just chilling then.
Yeah, so he's just going to sit there and watch. So Sunterfell has range on both these guys. He's going to fire at, what's the guy's name? Garvin Dreas in the X-Wing. And he's got to focus on him, which will help, but you've got to focus on you, which will help. So we'll see what happens. So attacking. Oh, 1 hit. And 1 evade. Wow, didn't even get to use my focus, which might matter for my defending, but who knows. Now, after he attacks, he can perform... Oh wait, am I thinking of the right guy?
Nope,
that's the other guy. So he's done. The Howl Runner would attack next, but he's not in range, so he moves straight to the other interceptor, Fenrir. And we already know he's in range, but at range 3 of the A-Wing. And so I will be using 3 dice, but he'll get an extra die in defense. He'll have actually 4 dice. So that'll be really hard, especially with the focus on him. But we'll see what happens. So don't roll until... Oh, because I have to modify mine before you roll. But yeah, 2 hits and 2 evades. So nothing happens there. Now he has a special rule that after he shoots or after he attacks, he can perform a free boost or barrel roll action. So he is not going to take the free action because barrel rolling would get him either to the obstacle or just into his other guys, and boosting forward might get him into a closer range for the A-Wing to hurt him next time. So it says he may perform that free action, so he's not going to do it. So the Y-Wing is going to attack first. He's got 2 Sixers, so he can choose which one goes first.
So Y-Wing with the ion cannon.
So ion cannon is only range 1 or 2. Is that correct?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's correct.
So I don't think he'll be in
range.
Nothing
there, but
he's definitely in range just to fire normally.
Let's go ahead and do that.
So I'll get 4 dice on the defense, and you'll get...
No stealth device on that guy?
The Sunterfell? No, the other guy has a stealth device.
All right.
So you're going to have 2 attack dice?
That's right.
All right, roll it. Oh, of course, with 2 dice, you get a hit and a critical. I do have 1 evade on him, though, so it should be okay.
So you just had 1 out of there.
So, nope, 2 evades. So that cancels that.
Good.
And then you have your other guy who can attack. He'll be in range 3 as well.
Same deal.
3 attack dice. 3 hits. Very solid. 4 defense dice, though. So I got an evade, focus. So I'll use my focus token to turn all my focuses into evades, and then I will use my evade token to get one more evade, and he will emerge unharmed. So now the Academy pilot will attack the X-Wing over there, which is which guy again? Wedge?
That's Wedge.
Wedge Antilles.
That's
Actually,
scary.
Wedge, I recognize that name. I think he was in the Star Wars
First
movies.
Death Star run? The
Yeah,
trench
wasn't he
run?
in the trench run?
I think he's in all of them, but I know the trench run.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
where I know him from.
The name sounds familiar. Anyways, I only have 2 attack dice with this guy. He's got no special rules, so here we go. Oh, 2 hits, and you've got 3 on the defense because you're at range 3. 2 evades. Yeah, you're fine. So now his final guy, his A-wing, will fire at Sunterfell. And he's got 2 dice. 1 hit, and I've got 4 defense, 3 plus 1 for being at range 3. 2 evades, so that's enough. So cleanup phase, we get rid of all these tokens that we didn't end up using, and we move into turn 2. Now we're into the asteroids. This will get interesting.